morning, everybody. Good morning. Let me know in the chat again if you can hear me, just making sure that everything's working okay. We're not going to start till 10. Let me just get the YouTube chat on my phone as well. Make it easier for me to read. Good morning. Good to see you. Good morning, Harris. Who else have we got on there? We've got Amin Al-Goni. Who else have we got? Shimu. Alcina. Lovely to see you all. Tamina. If you've got your parents' name as the YouTube name, don't forget to sometimes to tell me what your name is, and maybe write your name just at the end of your comment, because it's hard for me to remember what all the different names are. And then I can make sure I say hi. Omar again was the first guy to chat on here, which is good. Galaxy Ninja is back. Good to see you. 3D Maisha. Oh, you're Maisha Shimu. I'll do my best to try and remember that, Maisha. Musa, you're easy for me to remember because your name is on there already. You've got your name, Musa. Hassan, you're Aiden. Again, you're going to have to remind me. Yep, there's loads more 3D people which joining, which is great news. I've spoken to lots of children in 3P. Look at that, we're already at 25 and it's not even 10 o'clock, so we're doing really well this morning. I'm looking a bit scruffy myself, aren't I? Get my tie straightened up there. Lovely. Noah, yeah, Noah, I can tell you're Noah because your name says Noah. That one's easy. Abdullah says hello. Good, hello, Abdullah. Miss Duncan, good morning, Miss Duncan. Lovely to see you on the live chat. That is great news. Yeah, hello to Mikhail. Got a year 5. Oh, is that Maisha, the Maisha I used to teach, Maisha? Or is it a different Maisha? Miss Duncan. Oh, good to see you, Saburo. Saburo. And Meryl's brother is on here as well. Where Omar Ridwan is here. That's good. Ridwan, I can tell it's you because it's got your name, which is good news. Aminal is here. Muska. Galaxy Ninja is Muska. Is that Muska in 3J? Or is it a different Muska? Oh, Miss Duncan with her spellings. Oh my goodness. Don't worry, Miss Duncan, I can't spell either. Not my strong point. How are we doing? We've got a couple more minutes before we're going to start. Yay! Good. Good to see you here, Maisha. I hope the work is not too simple for you. Noah's asking, was I in the Vietnam War? I was not in the Vietnam War, Noah, no. I've got the Vietnamese flag up here. I used to teach in Vietnam. I used to work over there. Also, my wife's from Vietnam too, so I'm just showing a little bit of respect. Muska in 3J. Oh, that's good news, Galaxy Ninja. I was wondering who you were. Mohammed's here, which is good. Musa, booklet work, yeah. Obviously, if you look on the school website, on the year 3 class page, that's where the work in the booklet is. So I'll kind of do some stuff that links to the booklet, but most of the input for the booklet is on the class page. Guys, just because you're on here doing this doesn't mean that you can't be doing the work on the website, okay? I've been phoning lots of parents this morning who still seem to not know that there's a class page. All of your work is being posted on the year 3 class page, okay? Look at that, we're already up to 35, which is really good news. It's good to see that we've got children in other classes as well. We've got some year 5 kids, got some year 4 kids joining in, which is absolutely fine. You don't just need to be in year 3 to join in. I'm very happy, it's good to see you. Miss Cho is in the chat as well. We've got Miss Cho, we've got Miss Duncan. I'm going to take -2 then off my count. We've got 32 children in here. It says 34, but if 2 of those are teachers, we've got 32 children, which is good news. All right, it is 10 o'clock. We're a little bit down on yesterday's numbers, so I'm just going to hang on a tiny bit longer. We got 54 actually at the peak children in yesterday. So if we just bear with everybody just a couple more minutes and make sure that those people who are just joining now for 10 o'clock, and then we will start. We're going to have a little look at the news. Thank you, those of you giving a thumbs up. Do make sure, I know that all of you probably by now are subscribed. Ayub, did you see 57 at one point? I think I looked at the YouTube data and it said that there was 54. Meryl is here as well as your brother. That's good. Good to see both of you here. Got 2 year 5s on here as well. Oh, Miss Cho, favorite teacher. That is good news. Look at that. Favorite year 3 teacher that you currently have. I like that. 34 viewers. Yeah. I'm minusing 2 because we've got 2 teachers and we've got Miss Duncan and Miss Cho. 38. Okay, we're getting up to some good numbers now. I tell you what, we are going to begin. So I don't want to keep you on here all day. So good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. It's lovely to see you. I haven't even written that up on the board, but do you know what? That's fine. Yeah, I can see some of you saying you're really tired. People are excited to get going, which is good news. As per usual, we're going to start with a Mr. Jordan rant about how important it is that you do your work. That's number 1, is a Mr. Jordan rant. Number 2, we're going to have a little look at the news and what's been going on in the wider world. After that, we're going to play that alliteration game from yesterday. It went so well and you made such amazing sentences, so I can't wait to see some more of your sentences. We're going to have a little look at writing instructions again, because yesterday we looked at the title, the subheadings, the ingredients. Today we're going to look a little bit more at fronted adverbials and using imperative verbs. And then I'll turn to the back of my piece of paper. In maths, we're going to remind ourselves about multiples. We're going to find out today what a prime number and a factor is. And then we might run over a little bit of reading at the end. Oh, excitingly, do tune in tomorrow because we've got a guest speaker who's going to come and join in. They are a Hindu, and we've been looking at Hindu and Buddhism over this term. So tomorrow, we're going to get a guest speaker to come in who is a Hindu, who's going to tell us all about the different Hindu gods. And we're going to find out a little bit about that. So I'm very excited to find out about that. Okay, number 1, it's Mr. Jordan rant time. Just to remind you how important work is. I'm phoning so many parents who are saying they're having trouble motivating you guys, making sure that you stay working. Look, if you want to do the things that you want to do in your life, you have to make the effort now, right? If you want to grow up and be an astronaut or a police person, or you want to be a teacher as well, or a doctor, or even if you want to run your own business, maybe you want to design games, the only way you get to do that is by working hard. There are millions of people in this country who are fighting for every job. And not just millions of people in this country, there are billions of people in the world who are competing against you, right? The only way that you can succeed is by being the best and by working hard. So don't give up. Don't think that just because you're at home, you don't need to make that effort. And second of all, if your parents are asking you to do something, do it. Your parents are the most important people in the world. You shouldn't do something because I tell you to do it. You should do something because your mom tells you, because your dad tells you, because your carers tell you. Those are the people who love you. Those are the people who will be there for you no matter what. Okay? You end up in jail one day by mistake. I tell you what, your friends will leave you. People around you will go, but the people who will be there for you no matter what are your parents. They will love you unquestioningly. Okay, so those are the people who you need to respect the most. And if they ask you to do something, do it. Mr. Jordan ran over. Number 2, it is news time. Quick recap of what's been going on today. Number 1, what did I write down? Ooh, some research came out about eyesight. And I think it was really important because of COVID, people have not been going to the optician to test their eyes, okay? And we're having a real problem where people's eyesight is becoming worse because people aren't going to the optician. The research shows that if you get yourself to the optician and you check your eyes, you can stop your eyes from getting worse. It says that most eye problems, half of eye problems can be solved by simply going to an optician. So even though it's COVID, you know, the opticians are still open. If you feel you have any problems with your eyes, your vision, you can go to the optician. As a child, you can get free tests and everything. In fact, all of us can get free tests at the optician. And then you can go and see if you need glasses or if they need to do anything to help you. So don't forget about your eyes. We always talk at school, don't we, about our body health and our mind health and our teeth. we always seem to forget about our eyes. They are really, really important. A bit of good news on that. The research has shown that actually looking at screens doesn't damage your eyes. I'm really sorry, parents who have been telling you that your eyes are going to go square, but fortunately, doing work on computers and working hard and using screens to work doesn't actually damage our eyes in the long run. So that's a bit of good news during lockdown, because I'm imagining we're using quite a lot of time on the screen. Number two, some bad news. In America, the FBI, you might have heard of the FBI there, the special police in America, have warned that until Trump goes, there might be even more problems and protests. They're really worried because in America, citizens are allowed to have guns. How scary is that? So they're worried that because citizens have guns, they're worried that Trump supporters are going to turn up with guns, are going to be all over the place, causing all sorts of problems. And they're very worried at the moment in America. A lot of tricky times over there. Last one, some good news. I tell you what, I found some exciting stuff about, believe it or not, wood. Yes, wood. It's amazing material. They have now managed to find a way to design skyscrapers and tall buildings out of timber alone. That's wood. This is amazing because concrete produces so many harmful gases and harmful chemicals into the environment. So we're now able to use wood, which of course, as a tree grows, it captures carbon, and then we can use that material to create new buildings. They've been doing this in Scandinavia, but they're starting to do this in China as well. And talking about wood and how amazing wood is, the Japanese have created, I think this is amazing, a wooden satellite. So these satellites can now go up into space to do all sorts of amazing things. They're made of wood. The benefit, of course, of wood over, let's say, metal or plastic is that wood, eventually, it will break down. It will become destroyed. Metal, it will stay there forever, yeah? Same with plastic, and it becomes trash in space. It can become very dangerous as it rotates around the world. Whereas wood, really easy to break down. Once the satellite is finished, they can just get rid of it. So two amazing stories about the power of wood and how important wood is as a material. It looks like it's made from bamboo, doesn't it? It's absolutely right. It's actually wood that they're using, but I think that was absolutely incredible. So I just wanted to share that little thing with you. Next, before we move on to our literacy, a little update on some of the work you've been doing at home. After yesterday, I asked you to send me in your pictures of any recipes you've been making or anything that you've been cooking in the kitchen. And my goodness, we've had some incredible responses. We've had this from Sultan Sanjar in 3J, who's been creating an Afghan rice. There are all sorts of ingredients there. And here is some of the end product, which is really exciting. We've got this from Muna, who's also in 3J, who has been creating, there you go, she's been whisking up and creating her own pancakes, all the different ingredients. Here are the end products. How amazing is that? And this one looked absolutely delicious in 3D. We've got Mohammed Muda, who created, and he's already gone through, made his list of instructions. And then, look, here they are. Here he is, creating it in the kitchen. He's got his chef's outfit on. Look at that. Isn't that fantastic? And here is, oh my goodness, look how delicious those brownies look. Isn't that amazing? So I thought that was, look, in there you can see those delicious lumps of chocolate. Doesn't that look amazing? So wow, well done to those of you who have been cooking and producing things. That's really, really good. Before we go on, Miss Duncan did remind me to remind you of the importance of the language that you use on these live comments, okay? Really important that you think about the words that you're using. We did see a few words early on before the live stream started, and you just got to think, if everyone can see it, think about using the correct language and being mature about the things that we say. Okay, let's move on. It is time for some literacy, I think. Yes. All these bits of paper in front of me, and I've kind of forgotten what it is exactly I'm going to do, but I'm sure it'll turn up at some point. Right, first things first, we're going to play that game from yesterday, the alliteration game. So it's time for you to get ready with your typing fingers, and I want you to contribute to this. Our new letter for today, alliteration, just to remind you, is when we have that same sound at the start of the words. So we have sentences that start, each word starts with that same sound. So Today's letter is going to be S. And what we're going to do, I'm going to split it up onto the board into these 4 sections. And the first thing I would like you to do, I want you to give me as many nouns beginning with S as possible. So as many nouns beginning with S as possible. Remember, nouns are things. Oh, okay, we've got some starting already. We've got snake, which is a good one, a good start. I want all the nouns that begin with S. Sword, I love it. That's a really good noun beginning with S. The seed, yeah. A seed, that's a good noun beginning with S. Sand, love this. Snail, really good. Shark, very good. We've got sake up there, although I don't think we're going to write down sake. A seahorse, ooh, I like that. Seahorse, snow, slug, sack, Sultan Sanjar, that's definitely one. He is a noun. The sun, okay, that'll do for my nouns. Now I want some verbs. Remember that verbs are action words. They are doing words, things that we can do. What can we do that begins with S? There's one thing that I am doing right now that begins with S. I know that for sure. Yeah, we can, absolutely. We can shake. We can swim. Good. Sing. I like it. Stand, that's what I was doing right then. Very good. I don't think we can. Oh, Santa's a noun, but not a verb. We snore. Yeah, very nice one there. Anas. Snore. Shout. These are some really good verbs. Suck. You can suck a sweet. Yeah, that's true. Smile. Do you know what? I hadn't even thought about that one. That's a really good one. Shout. Sail. Gosh, you've got some really good ones here, haven't you? Sail. Fantastic. I'm going to move on. Next is our adjective section. So in our adjective section, these are things that these are describing words. Okay, how can we describe something that begins with S? Yeah, it's not just a snail, it's a something snail. What could it be? Yeah, I like that. We've got slimy. That's a very good word. Silly. Yeah, smart. Very good. Sorry, I've got a parent calling me. Need to get rid of that. Sad. Yeah, that's good. Slow. Very nice. Small. You know, slither is a slithery snail. That's a nice word, isn't it? Slithery. Smelly. I like it. Okay, do you know what? I'm going to stop there for these. I'm not now my adverbs. So I'm on my adverb section. So adverbs describe how we do something, remember? Yeah, I don't just stand, I stand straight. I'm not just run, I run quickly. So can we think of some adverbs to describe how we do something, beginning with S? Good. Slowly. That's a nice one. Scarily. I don't know if that's 2 L's or 1 L. Scarily. I'm going to put 2. I'm going to be a brave speller. I'm not quite sure. Sadly. It's a good one. Sadly. Sharply. Yeah, it sounds like a funny one, doesn't it? Sharply, but he spoke sharply. Yeah, his words were like a knife. Yeah, speaking sharply. I quite like that one. Sleepily. Sleepily. Surprisingly. That's a good one. Surprisingly. Good. Sorely. Yeah, softly. Spoke softly. Okay, this will do for my list. That's a fantastic list of words. Well done. So, job now. Can you use those S words that we've collected? We've got our nouns, our verbs, our adjectives, our adverbs, and we're going to make a sentence. I'm going to start you off by modeling the sentence I have made. I'm going to say that the slimy slug, so I've got the slimy slug. What did the slimy slug do? I'm going to put a the because I'm going to turn it into a whole sentence. The slimy slug slowly, slowly sang. There we go. The slimy slug slowly sang. Okay, full stop at the end, capital letter at the beginning, the slimy slug slowly sang. That's my sentence. I would like to see your sentences using these words. I will stand to the side over here. I'm hoping you can see them. I want a sentence of alliteration using S's. And remember, we need 4 words in that, 4 S words in that sentence. I want to see a noun, a verb, an adjective, and an adverb. Let's have a look at what we've got so far. Aidan from 3D, good to see you. The snake slid slowly. Really good. Using 3 words there, but great use of capital letter and full stop. Anas, well done. The snake slowly sang sadly. Very nice, although we're missing capital letter and full stop, but that is a fantastic sentence. The seed grew up in the sunlight. Anas, that's good, but we've only got 2 S words there. Let's see if we can get 4 in. The smart snake swam slowly. Ooh, I like that. Remember, the past of swim is swam. It's not swimmed. That is a really good one, Ayab. The smart snake swam slowly. I like that. What we got there? Sam sings sadly. It's not really a sentence, is it? Try and turn that into a sentence, please, because that could be a good one there. The slimy snakes shake down scaredly. Full stop at the end, don't forget. The Isa, we've got the silly snake slithered slowly into the sea. Ooh, nice one there. I like it. The slimy slug slid slowly. Okay, good. The sleepy slug swam slowly. Don't forget capital letter at the beginning, full stop at the end of your sentences. Silly snake swam slowly. The seal slid on the icy ice, sadly. I like that. Ava's is good because ice, I know it doesn't start with a S, but there's a really clear S in it. So I think that really adds to that sentence. The seal slid on the ice, sadly. Nice. Good one, Ava. The smart shark swam around the fish hoard. Ooh. Full stop at the end, please. The snakes. Oh, that one's gone there. I've just mad. I'm sure it was going to be a good one. The smart slug ran slowly. The shiny sword slid sharply. Oh, that's a nice one there. Mohammed Mikhails. I like that. What else have we got? I'll take a few more and then we're going to move on. The shark swam around the fish hook. Now the shark, this is a really good one. Would shark fit in here? It begins with an S, but there's a problem with shark, isn't there? The problem is the S on shark makes a sh sound, and sh and s are different sounds, aren't they? So we've got to be careful with that one. Just because it looks like there's a S at the beginning doesn't necessarily mean the sound is the same. But I'm really happy that you tried that. The slimy snake sounded out. The silly slug slithered sadly. Okay, these are really fantastic. I'd love to see, I've had loads of emails of all sorts of things, but I haven't yet had any emails with alliteration. So it'd be lovely to see just some sentences. It doesn't have to be an email. You can do it on Google Classrooms. It'd be really nice to see your alliteration sentences. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay, I'm going to clean the board off. Whilst I'm cleaning the board off, I've got a question for you. Okay, why aren't your comments coming, Ridwan? I'm not 100% sure, but I can see that one. Maybe there was just a little problem at the beginning, but don't worry, Ridwan. I can see them now, so you just keep going. Here's my question for you. I want you to tell me what is a title and what is a subheading. So basically, what is the difference between a title and a subheading? So think about that. That's your question. What is the difference between a title and a subheading? Whilst I'm clearing off the board, I'd like you to write your answers into the comment section. What is the difference between a subheading and a title? That is your question. Let me get rid of all of this. Difference between a subheading and a title. I'm going to have a title, and I'll put subheading. And maybe you can tell me the difference between a subheading and a title. Let's have a little look. What sort of things have we got? Ahil is saying subheadings are like rules. I know what Ahil is thinking here because I might have a subheading about rules, but subheading isn't always rules, Ahil. It's a really good try because sometimes they are. So you're not wrong. Omar, the subheading is a mini title. I think that's a really good answer. Galaxy Ninja, that's Musker, isn't it? Yeah, you're right. Not the same. A title is at the beginning, but subheadings come anywhere. That's an interesting one. Tabor, a title is normal title, and a subheading is a little title and break stuff down. Harris, titles are little pieces of information and subheadings tell us what it's about. Oh, Harris, wrong way around. Switch the word the other way around and you'll have got it. Got Salma. Oh, Safia, sorry. Hey, Safia. Good to see you. Title is the name of the story. Subheadings are parts of the story. Guys, this is really, really good. You're absolutely right. The title is the big main thing, what it's all about, okay? The title is what it's all about, it's the big thing. Then the subheading, it breaks it down into little pieces. I often, and I'm sure 3J has seen me do this before, I often think about the cow. Let me see if I can draw some kind of, I don't know why I choose a cow, I'm not very good at drawing them. Here is my beautifully drawn cow, as its udders, don't want to forget those. Now, if I was writing all about the cow, the title of the book might be called The Cow, because that is what it's all about. It's all about the cow. Now, I could break my story about the cow down into some subheadings, couldn't I? I could have one subheading all about the horns, okay? And we could find out about the horns on a cow or on a bull. We could find out about the horns. We could have a whole subheading all about the leather. Okay, so of course leather as a material, we get that from ripping the skin off the cow and drying it out. So it's a lovely material to use. We've got the horns, we've got the leather. What else could I have about the cow? Oh yeah, look, got down here, I could have a whole section all about the milk. Yeah, I could have a whole section all about the meat. So each of these are my subheadings. The main thing is the cow. That's what it's all about. The subheadings are the little parts of the cow, the horns, the leather, the meat, the milk. Yeah, when I break it down into a little chunk. So with your recipe, for example, your title was the name of your recipe. So for example, with Mohammed Muda, his title up here is How to Make Brownies. That's his big title. He's then broken it down into some subheadings. He's got a subheading for ingredients, because that's part of it, and a subheading for his method, which is absolutely fantastic. Okay? Yeah, Ahil said like chapters, and Ahil, you're absolutely right. It's a little bit like the chapters of your whole book. That's kind of what subheading is, in a way. Right. Moving on. A little bit more sentence writing now. We are in our instructions. We did ingredients yesterday, but we kind of stopped when it came to our method. And our method are the instructions. They are exactly what we're going to do. Now, there's two things I want to see when you come to writing your method. One, I want to see a fronted adverbial. So we're going to talk about what those are. One, I want to see a fronted adverbial. And two, I want to see imperative verbs. Now, a lot of you should be good at this because just before lockdown, we did some stuff about this. If you remember, we wrote instructions to making either, I think, a little teddy bear in some classes, or we made some Stone Age bags. I was going to see if I could find a Stone Age bag anywhere. I can't see one. So we made some Stone Age bags, and then we did the instructions on how to do it. So basically all I'm doing here is I'm going to do a little reminder on how we do that. So a fronted adverbial. This is going to go at the beginning of each of my instructions. A fronted adverbial tells me like when, where, how, or why I do something. Do you know what? Just before we pause, we've got a special guest here in the bubble. Do you want to have a little say hello, sir? Hello, sir. Well, you can say this is Mr. Keeling, everybody. Hi, Mr. Keeling. Are you okay?
Yes, I'm splendid.
We're just talking about fronted adverbials and imperative verbs. Anything you want to
add? It's imperative that you learn about verbs.
Oh, that is so meaningful, sir. Thank you so much. Is there anything you wanted?
A pen, if possible.
A pen. There's 3 pens there if you want those.
Fabulous.
Okay. Fronted adverbial is going to go at the beginning. Everyone's saying hi to you. Hello. They're all saying hi, Mr. Keeling.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Mr. Keeling. A fronted adverbial goes at the beginning of your sentence, and it tells you a little bit about why, where, or when something happens. So, for example, I might say, before you start, so before you start, comma, and then I'm going to say the rest of my sentence. This is my fronted adverbial. What might I do before I start? Before you start, make sure you wash your hands. I'm going to put wash your hands. Here is my fronted adverbial before you start because it tells me where, when, or why. Here is my imperative verb, wash, because it tells you to do something. An imperative verb, we used to call these, probably in Key Stage 1, we called them bossy verbs. So when you tell you to do something like stand, drop, pick up, stir. Yeah, these are demanding you do something. So I've got my fronted adverbial, I've got my imperative verb. Before you start, wash your hands. Let's see, next thing I'm going to do. I'm going to use an imperative verb. Mix the flour. Now tell me, I want a fronted adverbial. I want something here that tells me when, where, or why, or how even. Let's go for how. How should I mix the butter? What do you think is a good idea for how I should mix the butter? Let's have a little look. How should I mix the butter? Someone tell me in the chat. How would you mix the butter? Slowly, Anna. Thank you very much. Slowly, Ayab. That's a good one. Come on. So we've got some different ones. Peacefully. Oh, I like that. So nice. Or pacefully. Is that pacefully or peacefully? I'm not quite sure. How else could I do it? How would I mix the butter? Mix the butter so slowly, steadily, like that. Steadily, nicely, carefully. Do you know what? I'm going to take that one, carefully. So, carefully, comma, mix the flour. Fronted adverbial. Nice one. It tells me how, why, when, or where I am doing something. All right, I'm going to give another instruction, and you're going to tell me the fronted adverbial. So mix the flour, and the next thing is going to be pour in the milk. Pour the milk. Right, guys, tell me, how am I going to pour the milk? Aggressively, Ava. Ava's saying I should pour the milk in aggressively. I like that. That's an interesting one. Calmly, yeah, gently, carefully, steadily. I like this one. Slowly. You know what? I like this word, steadily. Steadily. That's a good one, isn't it? So steadily pour the milk. So before you start, wash your hands. Carefully, comma, mix the flour. Steadily, comma, pour the milk. Okay. Now we're going to do one. I know what. Mix in the bowl. Okay, so we're going to mix in the bowl. This fronted adverbial is going to be a why. So can you guys tell me, why should I mix in the bowl? Why don't I mix on the table or in the sink? Yeah, why do I mix in the bowl? Because we're going to do a why fronted adverbial here. So why should I mix in the bowl? Yeah, Ayab, you're absolutely right. It's quite hard to read with this pen. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of choices. I want you to think about why I should mix in the bowl whilst I have a little look and see if I've got another pen. Why should I mix in the bowl? We'll look at this one, this one, or this one. That one's no good. Just get rid of that. Why do I mix in the bowl? That one's no good. Get rid of that. That one's no good. Let's get rid of that. Is that a bit better? Try this one. Why do I mix in the bowl? Let's have a look. Don't be scared to type, Attic. You're absolutely fine typing. Because the bowl is clean. I like that. So I could say, because the bowl is clean, mixing the bowl. Oh, it doesn't quite work. So it doesn't get, what's Ava said, so it does not get messy. Do you know what, Ava? I'm going to take yours. I think that's the best one there. So look, I'm going to say, so it doesn't get messy. Let's squeeze all that in, comma, so it doesn't get messy, comma, mix in the bowl, right? Now, I'm really rushing through this because we're limited for time. But when you do your instructions, I want to see a fronted adverbial at the start, followed by a comma, and then I'd like to see the rest of the instruction. If you want a little bit of help on fronted adverbials, I need a little bit more information about it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to link for you a video I have done all about these. Let me just quickly find it on here. There it is. Let's pause this. If you just bear with me, I will pop this in the comments for you. So here we go. This is a link, and I shall pin this link as well to the top of the page. So I've pinned to the top a link there for fronted adverbials. If you want, you can watch that fronted adverbial video, and then that's going to show you exactly how to use the fronted adverbial. If you have a look, it should be pinned at the top of your chat somewhere. Watch that after this video, shows you how to do fronted adverbials, and then you can, well, you can show me in your instructions some fronted adverbials. All right, next, we're moving on. It's got to past. We're going to do some maths. So it's time for you to get your maths brains on. Let me rub all of this out. And yesterday, we looked at, for the first time, we looked at multiples. We were looking at numbers that were multiples. Okay, and I'm just going to quickly remind you what a multiple is. Let me just write a few numbers on the board for you. I've found my piece of paper. So a multiple, here's some numbers. We've got 3, 7, 8, 10, 13, 15, and 16. I hope you can all see those. I know that it's not fantastic. And actually, we're going to do something else. I'm going to move this over here, and I'm going to show you a video as well. In fact, no, I'm going to show you the video afterwards. I hope you can see them. Right, a multiple. If I said, can you find on here multiples of 2? What I'm asking you to do is to find numbers. I'm going to do this one. We're going to find numbers that are in that times table, basically. Okay? So if I looked on here and I said, can I find numbers that are multiples of 2? I would say, is 3 in the 2 times table? No. Is 7 in the 3 times table? No. 8 is a multiple of 2. 10 is in the 2 times table. Not 13, not 15, and oh yeah, 16 is also a multiple of 2. So I'm looking for numbers that are in that times table, if you remember this from yesterday. So what I'd like you to do is find me any multiples of 3. So can you find me multiples of 3, please? And can you type it into the comments? So can you find multiples of 3? And can you type them into the comments for me? Yeah, look at that. Loads. Ooh, there are some multiples of 3s on this list. This is very good. I can see lots of people are writing these multiples of 3. That's numbers that are in the 3 times table. Yeah, very good, guys. I think most of you have got it now. The multiples of 3, this is a multiple of 3. It's in a 3 times table. And this is a multiple of 3. Okay, can you find me multiples of 4? Can you find me multiples of 4? The next one to do, can you find me multiples of 4? I'm going to have a little look in the comments. Can you find me multiples of 4? Let's have a look. Thank you, Tabor. Multiples of 4. Again, you've gone for none, but there are some multiples of 4 in here. I've just made that one was right for 3, but we're going to go for multiples of 4 now. Let's have a look. Do you know what, Ayub, you're right. I don't know if I've got any darker pens. This is the problem. Multiples of 4, guys. Multiples of 4. Oh, I've got a darker pen here. This one looks a bit better. Yeah, very good. For those of you who got it right, multiples of 4. 8 is a multiple of 4. I found a darker pen. It's good news. 16 is a multiple of 4. None of the rest are a multiple of 4. Okay, here's a quick question for you then. Can you find numbers on there that don't have any multiples? In fact, they're known as prime numbers. A prime number is a number that is not in any times tables apart from the 1 and itself. Can you find me any numbers there that are not in any times tables, otherwise known as a prime number. Can you find some numbers there that aren't in any times tables apart from their own times table? They are prime numbers. Oh, look at this. Impact Fitness Academy, thank you for the slimy comment. 13, 7, yeah. Well done, guys, those of you who have got it. Yeah, ones that are not in any times table, that are prime numbers. This is only in the 7 and 1 times table. It is a prime number. It's not in the 2s, the 3s, the 4s, the 5s, the 6s, the 8s, the 9s, the 10s. It is known as a prime number. This one here is also a prime number. So these are prime numbers. And no, not 50, sorry, this one here. So prime numbers are pretty special numbers. They are numbers that don't go into any times table apart from themselves. Okay? So I've got a little challenge for you that I'd like you to do. As well as having a go at those fronted adverbials, I would like you to find as many prime numbers as you can. You don't need to do it now, but maybe for tomorrow's lesson, have a little think about what prime numbers are. And I'll have a little competition maybe who can do the most prime numbers. Now, interesting, Ayub says 1 is a prime number. Now, I thought that was true as well, Ayub. But this morning, I phoned my granddad, who used to be a maths teacher, and I asked him about number 1. And actually, it isn't a prime number. And I said, why? Because it's not in any other times tables. And it's just convention that the first prime number is 2. So for some reason, 1 is never counted as a prime number. If you go and Google it or find out about it, you'll see that 1 is not a prime number. But the prime numbers start at 2. So 2 is the first prime number. And then obviously 3 is a prime number. Well done, those of you. But I want you to see how many other prime numbers you can think of. Believe it or not, there are an infinite number of prime numbers. They go on forever. Okay? And there are people who dedicate their life to finding new prime numbers. So maybe you could be the person, you could be the girl or boy who finds the next prime number that has never been found. It is possible. You could find a brand new prime number. Okay, we've looked at these. And I said we were looking at multiples and factors. And factors is really the new piece of learning that we're going to be doing today. And the question is, what is a factor? Well, I'm going to put this number up here. Factors are when we, and I said I was going to show you a video to explain what factors are. And I'm going to do that now. I'm going to move us. We are slowly moving across to a new location over here. And we're going to watch a video inside a video that's going to tell us a little bit about what factors are. See if I can move this a little bit closer. So I don't know how this is going to work, but we're going to try watching a video in a video that tells us about what factors are. Okay? I'm going to press play.
Factors divide into other numbers exactly, with no remainders. Take these 8 tasty ants, for example. They can be divided into one group of 8. But we can also divide 8 into 2 lots of 4. So the factors are 1, 2, 4, and 8. But if the ants want to hang out in 3s, it will cause a few problems. 8 won't divide into 3 equal groups. There's always a couple left on their own. So 3 is not a factor of 8. I don't think our hungry anteater was expecting any leftovers.
Very good. I hope that worked. I hope you could see it and that was okay. So we just found out that factors are the numbers that a number can be divided into equally. Gosh, that sounds a little bit confusing for me. So I'm going to see if I can show you what a factor looks like. Here is 4. And you can see that I have got 4 little beads. Okay? To find the factors of 4, I need to see what numbers does 4 divide into equally. Well, 1 is an easy one. Yeah? It's definitely a factor of 1 because look, I can divide this into groups of 1, can't I? I've got equal groups of 1. How many equal groups of 1? Well, I've got 4 equal groups of 1. So there are definitely 4 has the factors of 1 and 4. Let's think about what else. Are there any other ways that I can divide 4? I can see people in the comment are already saying it. Actually, it's not 8 because I've only got 4. The other way I can divide this is into 2 equal groups. Look, there's 2 groups of 2. So my factors for 4 are 1, 2, and 4. I can't group it into equal groups of 3. Let me have a look. If I pop this over here like this, the groups are not equal. So 3 is not a factor of 4. But factors of 4 are 2, that's a factor of 4. 1 are factors of 4. And 4 is a factor of 4. Let's try another number. Okay, we've tried that. Let's have the number 6. So I'm going to put 6 beads onto the board. Whilst I'm doing this, can you think what might be the factors of 6? What can I divide 6 into to make equal groups of? So here's my number 6. Now I know that I can do 1 and I know I can do 6. That's already sorted. But are there any other equal groups that I can put 6 into? Now I can see people are absolutely smashing this in the comments. They've got loads of ideas. This is really good. Yeah, well done. Dawud Islam's got 1, which is absolutely right. I've already got that one up there. 3. Look, loads of people have said 3 now. Let's see if I can make equal groups of 3. There's a group of 3. There's a group of 3. Are they equal? Yes, they are. So 3 is a factor of 6. Is there anything else I can make as a factor of 6? Let's have a look. Well done, those of you also who are saying 2. Let's have a look. There's a group of 2. There's a group of 2. And there's a group of 2. I can make equal groups of 2. So 2 is also a factor of 6. Okay, I'm going to pop a new number up and we're going to see how many factors we can make for this number. Let me get rid of these. Make sure I've got my blue tack. Okay, our new number. Do you know what? We're going to go big. Our new number is going to be 12. And I want you to think about how many factors you can find for 12. Let me pop all of these 12 beads up on the board. What are we at now? 10. I need 2 more, don't I? Here we go. I've now got 12 beads on the board. My new number is going to be 12. So what factors does 12 have? What can I divide it up into equally? Let's have a look. Yeah, number 1, people have already said it. 1 is definitely a factor of 12. If we've got 1 as a factor of 12, then I know that 12 is also a factor. Let's think about what else is a factor of 12. Lots of people saying 2. Shamin, can you make sure you only type it once, please? Please don't type it more than once. Please don't type it more than once, just once. Good. Yeah, 2 is a factor of 12. Let's have a look. I can split it into equal groups of 2, can't I? Yes, very nice. We've got another one. Let's have a look. What else is a factor of 12? What other groups can I split it up into equally? Good. Whoever said 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 2 equal groups of 6. Very good. 6 is definitely a factor of 12. Mariam and Ridwan. Very good, Ridwan. Ridwan says 3. Let's have a look at that. There is 1 group of 3, 2 groups of 3, 3 groups of 3, 4 equal groups of 3. Brilliant. 3 is a factor of 12. What else have we got? Harris and Shamin are both saying 4. Let's check that out then, shall we? Let me rub this out and let's see if 4 is also a factor of 12. Let's clear this off. Right, we've got 1 group of 4. Very good. Another group of 4. Very good. And another group of 4. Brilliant. 4 is also a factor of 12. So well done. Yeah, the chat is going crazy. That's because you guys are so good answering these questions. Someone has said 8, but I don't think I can make 2 equal groups of 8. Let's just check this one. Pop this one up. So if I pop 1 group of 8 over here, then I don't have enough to have 2 equal groups of 8. So 8 won't quite work. Okay, this is so fantastic. All the factors of 12 we have now got on the board. I've got 12, 1, 3, 2, 4, and 6. You're getting really good at finding factors as well. Okay. You know what? We'll go over and have another look at factors tomorrow in tomorrow's lesson. So get practicing them. We'll try out some different factors. The last thing then, just before we finish this, well done guys. There's our bell to say we've been doing for 45 minutes. Thank you. Bell for 45 minutes. I did say I'm going to have a little look over yesterday's reading that you were doing. So I know some of you who are watching now probably didn't get the reading pack from yesterday, but most of you should have the reading pack. It's in your home learning booklet that looks a bit like this. And the reading from yesterday was, yes, it was 3 nanny goats gruff, okay? 3 nanny goats gruff. And this was a play script style reading, okay? Which was a little bit different. So I'm just looking at yesterday's work. I'm not looking at today's work. I'm looking at yesterday's. It was in the form of a play script. Now, did people look at this from yesterday? I just want to see in the chat if people have done it. I can see some people have said that they have done it, which is really good. Yeah, I know, Maisha, you're not in year 3, so you don't have the pack. Omar, are you missing it as well? Lots of people have finished it, which is really good. So I'm sorry to those of you who didn't get the pack. I'm just going to quickly check over a few. Well, I'm not going to give you the answers. I'm going to tell you how I would go about finding the answers. Now, in a play script, it's set up a little bit differently. We've got the names of the characters at the side. It's different to a normal story because when people are talking in a normal story, we would use speech marks, and we looked at speech marks in one of the earlier live streams. So that's a little bit of a different setup. If I was looking for key information, the first question says, which goat has the biggest horns? Okay, which goat has the biggest horns? Well, what I'm going to be looking through is I'm going to skim and scan for words that are in that. And the word I'm looking for now is horns. And what I would do is I'd think, right, I'm looking for horns. And I would look through, can I see the word horns, horns? Ah, there it goes. I can see the first word horns. So now what I'm going to do is read the sentence. The sentence says, middle nanny goat's horns weren't as big, but she had the silkiest coat of any goat around. Little nanny goat didn't have curved horns or silky coat, but she wasn't scared of anything. So I know that little nanny didn't have horns, and I know that middle nanny goat's horns weren't as big, which tells me that big nanny goats must have had the biggest horns, okay? So it's just skimming and scanning and looking for key words. It says here, write down a word that describes little nanny goat's personality based on lines 1 and 6. Well, guess what? It tells me exactly where to find it. The only place then I need to look is between lines 1 and 6. And then I can read through just between 1 and 6. So once upon a time, there were 3 nanny goats. Big nanny goat, middle nanny goat, and little nanny goat. Big nanny goat was wrinkled old goat with great curved horns and a long flowing beard. Middle nanny goat's horns weren't as big, but she had the silkiest coat of any goat around. And little nanny goat didn't have curved horns or a silky coat, but she wasn't scared of anything. Personality. Are horns a personality? No, they're not. They're a physical feature. Is a silky coat a personality? No. It says she wasn't scared of anything. I know then that she is a brave person, that she is courageous, okay? So I'm basically, each time you look at a question, I think I'll leave it there because I'm not 100% sure of all the answers to this because I didn't check it myself. But make sure that you skim and scan for the key words. Question 3 says, why is wobbled like a plate of jelly a good description? Well, I love wobbled like a plate of jelly. It's a simile, isn't it? It's describing one thing to another. I can picture that plate of jelly wobbling all over the place. So to me, it's a good description because it gives me an image in my head and shows me exactly what she was doing. So I think that's why that's a really good description. Okay, I'm going to stop there. Last thing I'd like then is, I have been asking some people as I phoned up, what are they interested in learning? Is there anything that they would like me to do? Is there anything that they would like to learn? Is there anything that they want a special lesson on? So I'd like you, just before we go, can you pop into the comments section? I know Ayub is desperate for the Vietnam War. So maybe Ayub, I'll teach you a little bit about the Vietnamese War for one thing. But can I have a few other people? Art lesson, that's a really good idea. Just pop in the comments, what would you like a lesson on? Because then what I'll do is I'll plan something, what you want to do as well. Issa, yeah, good. Animals, what do you mean by animals, Dawud? What do you want to learn? Just key facts about animals? You need to be specific for me. Yeah, loads of people doing arts and crafts lessons. So I will do some sort of arts and crafts. We'll do that one session, yeah? I'll do something with paper so that we can all do it along at home. That'd be a good idea. That's one. History, Anas, but what would you like in history? The Cretaceous period. My goodness, I like this. You want to learn about Florence Nightingale? Do you know what? I'm not going to do Florence Nightingale. I'll tell you the only reason why is you're going to learn all about Florence Nightingale in some other years. So I'm going to leave that one for the other year. The Ottoman Empire history. Do you know who's really good at the Ottoman Empire history? And she's got a book on it. It's Mrs. Cho. You should ask her about that. Art lesson. Yeah, I'll do an art lesson. Dinosaurs. I've had a few people asking for dinosaurs. All right, I'll pop dinosaurs down. Yeah. I've said for ages I'll do the Vietnam War for Anas, or AM, sorry. So we'll have a little look at that as well, although it's not a really happy thing to learn about the Vietnam War. It's a pretty sad thing. Phonics, those of you asking for phonics sessions, there are really good phonics resources on the school YouTube. Year 2 are posting every day. Just because it's from the year 2, don't think that you don't need it, okay? The phonics on year 2 are really good. If you're having any trouble with reading or with pronunciation, go onto the school YouTube page and check out the phonics sessions. They're really, really good on there. So we've got dinosaurs, art, yeah, the Paleolithic period, cooking. I'm not really going to do any live cooking. Arts and crafts, history of the prophets, quiz. A quiz! I love that. I'm going to make a quiz for you. That's a really good one. Yeah, hadn't thought about that. We'll do a little virtual quiz one day. I love the idea of that. Okay, art and dinosaurs and quiz. I'm happy with that. I'll prepare that for us. So, just last thing. I've said just last thing so many times now. Remember, tomorrow we've got a special guest coming on. We're going to find out all about Hinduism again. I know I said we're moving on to Buddhism, but I couldn't find a Buddhist who's in our bubble. But I have found a Hindu. They're going to tell us all about the different gods in Hinduism, and you are going to create your own god with special powers and a special animal. So that is one we're going to be doing tomorrow. We'll also have a little bit more of a look at factors and understanding these numbers like that, and we'll move on to something new in English. So well done, guys. Work really hard, please. Go onto the school website. Make sure that you are looking at that every single day. There's loads of resources that are updated on there. The other thing to say, Google Classrooms, chat on there, talk on there. Yeah, you can get hold of Miss Duncan, Miss Chubb, Miss Patterson, myself on Google Classrooms. If you've got any questions, log yourself on, ask us questions. If you want to show work, please don't text it to me. Make sure that you pop it onto Google Classroom or that you email it in. Okay, so lovely to see you all. Can't wait to see you tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, same time. Be there. If you talk to any of your friends, make sure that you get them on. Okay, I'd love to see as many people as possible. So big goodbye. Well done, guys. Don't forget to make sure you subscribe. Give it a bit of a thumbs up as well. It always helps. Bye-bye.